It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, today is a Monday, and as usual, it is a Metal Monday. I would not miss it, y'all. Even though I am not technically working today, I am sharing a metal reaction that I filmed a few weeks ago. It was part of our Metal May countdown over on our Patreon, where we featured a whole bunch of our favorite metal songs that I had not yet heard or featured on the channel. And one of the ones that was included is a little song called Overkill from Motorhead. This is a band that has been underrepresented on the channel, and I am aiming to fix that, y'all. And it starts today because I really loved hearing and actually watching the footage of them performing this song from back in the day. So I am pleased to share my reaction to Overkill by Motorhead with y'all now. I am going to move on, and we are going to hear from a little band called Motorhead. And this is a band that I have not actually done a lot of on the channel, and I keep trying to, and then other stuff just pops in and I end up moving them. So I'm happy to get to this song today. It's called Overkill, and it comes to us from Ross P. Thank you, Ross. And Ross says, if Helen of Troy was the face that launched 1,000 ships, then Phil Taylor's double kick intro, double kick intro to Overkill was the drum pattern that launched 1,000 thrash bands, and that is no exaggeration. He says this title track opens the band's second album, released in 1979, and celebrates their relationship with their fans, as the band was on the verge of breaking out. If the drumming and lyrics aren't cool enough, the song's seemingly never-ending outro features guitarist Eddie Clarke playing not one, not two, but three scorching solos, the last of which he plays an ascending guitar line over a descending bass line. That sounds fun. Although Lemmy often said, "We are Motorhead and we play rock and roll," Taylor's drumming made Overkill one of the band's signature songs and a seminal moment in the evolution of heavy metal. Cool. So not only is it the title track, but it's the lead single from their second album. And Lemmy has reiterated what Ross says. He has said that the song's about the rush of adrenaline that they, especially as performers, experience when they're on stage in front of a very appreciative and supportive audience. So let's hear it, y'all. It's Lemmy on bass and vocals. We've got Fast Eddie Clarke on the guitars and Phil Filthy Animal Taylor on the drums. It is Motorhead, and they are doing Overkill. Off we go. There's the sixth chord.
Get it back to you. Don't sweat it. Get it back to you.
I think they're in E flat minor. They're tuned down.
Overkill.
Up to F.
Overkill. Overkill.
Huh, now they're back. Boy, that double kick is relentless, isn't it? Here's the sixth chord. So we're going to minor 1, E flat, 6. Flat 6. relative major of where they were. So that makes that A flat. And the double kick is still banging.
Don't sweat it. Get it back to you. Hey. Don't sweat it. Get it back to you.
Don't sweat it. We'll give it back to you.
Overkill. Overkill. Overkill.
There's flat 7, flat 6. Seven, 6. So they're playing an E, but it's sounding E flat. What's more now? But he had to take a breather. He's like, guys, let me regroup. Here we go. Cool. Yeah, the bass is just going down, right? But you can move in the opposite direction melodically. Hey, they ain't done. Don't you think it's a bit overkill? Right? I had to. Yeah. This is what Ross was talking about. As the bass stays down and doing that lament pattern. Moving down pattern. The lead is going up and they are just ripping it. Whew. Big time piece. Big time piece. I really like the short move that they do. They're in the middle of the song. They do it a couple of times to move up by step, to move the key up by step. They're tuned down, so they're in E flat. And they're using, just the straight ahead chords in E flat minor. They're using flat 6, flat 7, 1. And then all of a sudden it goes to the 2 chord. And when the 2 chord sounds stable, when you go to the 2 chord from the 1 chord in a minor key to a 2 chord, normally it's diminished. The 2 chord's diminished. If we're using natural minor as the scale, when we move from a 1 chord to a 2 chord and they make the 2 chord minor, it's either the result of Dorian mode or they're just temporarily moving keys. They just shift the key there. And that's what they did. Once they got to F, it was F to B flat and then back to F. And then they went to F's flat 6, which is D flat. And then when they get to the flat 7, the E flat, they just stay there and go back to the riff that they were originally doing in E flat. It makes for not a ton of excursion away from the main thing, but just enough that it gives that return its continual power. I think it's a really neat song from Motorhead there. I'll get to more of their stuff. For a trio, that's a power trio, y'all. And I was grooving on that. An absolute banger of a tune, right? Overkill from Motorhead. You know, y'all, I really am eager to continue getting to know this band. They've been one of these that I have overlooked over the years. I've had Ace of Spades on my active calendar multiple times and then ended up moving it because something happened and I needed to shift it. And I thought, you know, no more. I need to get to y'all. Y'all always talk about Lemmy and Fast Eddie and Filthy Animal Taylor. Like these guys were just exuding rock and roll and heavy metal and heavy rock, and you need to experience them, Doug. And I am finally starting to listen, my friends. So today was part of my attempt to fix that. You know, we've got a whole bunch of bands that are demanding my attention from a whole lot of different genres, and it's a little tricky to keep all of the balls in the air, right? But today I feel like we accomplished something. We got Motorhead back on the channel for the second time. Overkill is one of their signature tunes, and I am eager to continue getting to know songs from this band's repertoire. So if you have a suggestion for me specifically, I would love to see it in the comments. But for today, my friends, that is going to be all for me. I thank you very much for joining me, and we will see you next time on another edition of the Daily Dog.